Wakiso Resident District Commissioner Kyeyune was at the receiving end as he appeared before the Commission of Inquiry into Land Matters. He was taken to task to explain reports that he fraudulently obtained 41 acres of land in Nomve Central Forest Reserve.
You're a senior public officer. You're in charge of the protection of resources. A piece of property that has become controversial by the nature of the way it was acquired is being shared out with you. Would you find it unfair for somebody to say you are taking a bribe?
My lord, taking a bribe for what? As RDC na Mayingo, what decision did I have to make in Wakiso? I would have taken a bribe if I was the RDC of Wakiso. But RDC na Mayingo, taking a bribe about Wakiso issues, for what?
Kyeyune claims that his uncle, One Haji Haruna Semakula, gifted him with the land in April 2014. Kyeyune, who previously served as Wakiso District Chairman but lost the elections in 2011, was in a financial squeeze, and yet President Yoweri Museveni had not fulfilled his pledge to him. He did not specify the pledge.
My lord, during that time of the votes, I got a lot of problems financially. I approached the president, he promised to assist me. And unfortunately, the president pushed me every day to go, come back. I spent 2 years without any job. So my uncle was following. So by the time he got into this, he knew that he was bailing me out. And immediately when I got it, I managed to bail myself out. My lord, I have nothing to do with a forest reserve.
Yes, you have everything to do because, excuse me, there is a land title here being waved everywhere. You have everything to do with our forest reserve. There is a land title. Yeah? In block 226 plot 46 at Buwanika in the names of Kyeyune. There is a land title that has actually then moved on to one Kahunda. Kahunda? Yes. And we're having to deal with the Kahunda building a house in a forest. Yes, we have everything to do with it. Yes, you do. And please, answer my question. Did anyone compel you to take a loan? Because these are personal, and you've got to ask yourself these questions. You're much older than many of us in this room, but you've got to ask yourself this is personal questions. If I make personal decisions, I shouldn't be blaming every Tom, Dick, Harry, and everybody else. Were you compelled to take a loan? The answer is simple, yes or no.
My lord, I have a lot of respect for your chair.
Were you compelled? And by the way, you better have it, because if you don't answer me yes or no, we shall begin having an issue here. Did you take a loan by compulsion? Say yes or no.
It was under pressure.
Kyeyune fielded a barrage of questions from the commissioners on why Semakula could have been so generous as to give 41 acres of land to a public officer.
Do you see that there's a problem with the fact that there can be a conflict of interest where your competing interests and loyalties are a problem to your office?
My lord, I'm just disturbed by the issue, the way it is raised, my lord. This is not a public office. This is not a person who works in the district. This is my personal relative and a friend. My lord, I don't think
your personal relative and friend has criminal charges against him. And mind you, your personal relative and friend has been using your name in case you don't know. He's been using your name to threaten the junior officers and say, should you touch me, Mr. Kyeyune is connected and we shall deal with you. And the officers, those police officers, could not touch him in Kakiri. If they could touch him, they could even get his statement. Yes, they could touch him because he's your relative. Do you know that? That your relative is breaking the law and actually threatening people with violence, and he can't be touched, and you say that is not connected to your office and who you are?
My lord, I'm hearing this for the first time.
Now that you've heard about it, is it a good thing?
It would be non-prudent.
A lot of the claims we've had since the commission started is that some senior government officials army officials, and high, well-connected people in this country have been behind or are still behind the land grabbing in some parts of this country. The RDC of Wakiso, Kyeyune, claims this is political witch hunt. The commissioners also heard that Kyeyune sold off the land in apparent haste just 1 month after he acquired it. Kyeyune, who resides in Wakiso district and has worked there for decades, is a public officer and private engineer running a construction firm, claims he did not know that the land he was given was in a forest reserve.
Did you think about the need to individually, as the recipient of a gift, carry out some due diligence to check, I'm getting a gift of land?
You can't run for due diligence when you're already sure of the person who is donating to you.
He also argued that there is population pressure on land in Wakiso district and other parts of the country, so some forest reserves must be degazetted.
My Lord, I believe that at no time would Ugandans fail to have where to live, and the trees are enjoying a big chunk of land.
Earlier in the day, sector supervisors of the National Forestry Authority said they were receiving death threats from unnamed top government officials and other private people eyeing forest land. Sheila Nduhukire, NTV.